because I love to fight against the problem, man. That's why I get a little bit aggressive sometimes.
But not against the man?
No, I'm not against man. I'm actually against the fundamental problems that we're facing.
What kind of problems?
Well, for example, I'm seeing too many homeless people on the streets.
Exactly.
And I'm also seeing plenty of people still out of work.
Yeah.
And I also have seen people who are underemployed, like me.
Yeah.
And I personally think that if I can actually be the boss who owns like a company or two or even more, I want to hire them who really have the potential to actually like to do what they can, instead of like just asking them some tough questions or cherry picking.
I understand, man. So, but you want to hire homeless people in this role, yeah? For instance,
I want the homeless people, unemployed people, and underemployed people to get proper jobs.
You want to assist
wow.
those people to live, for underprivileged people.
To find jobs so that they can be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
How happy it is for everybody to have jobs.
Exactly.
I was thinking about the same fucking thing.
Wow.
Truly, yeah. I was thinking about this new generation type of interview, when they will not ask about your skills, but just about your passion to do particular job, any job. For instance, creating new types of rockets, or just creating new types of clothes. Any job, no skills required, just the passion to do particular thing. That is my idea of changing the world.
Wow.
By the way, one of the ideas.
Yeah.
To start hiring people in this way, okay?
Yeah.
So not in regular way, but in this way, and we'll see what these people could create from that. Yeah, maybe they will create the task even more efficiently, way more efficiently than classical employees who work for money and chosen by skills, and actually not by passion about something, but just about the money and skill set. That's it. So I think this is the very important thing for changing the world. Like one aspect of changing the world. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
nice.
yes.
We should collaborate.
And I think we should actually we have to actually do something about it, because I mean, if you look at what the government are doing, they tried, but they didn't touch on the fundamental problems. But we're gonna have to do that directly, so that we're gonna actually really want to surprise them into thinking, hey, we got somebody who could solve that problem, something that no one else does. So we want to do something where other people cannot do, but we can, and that's why we want it, like as I said, we want to hire the people based on the passion and not on the existing skills, and that's why we want to and then so we can find out if they can live up to this potential, and if they do, hey, I mean at least we can keep that, and if not, I mean at least they have the job experience, and then that they can use, and of course and I don't want to discourage them if it doesn't meet up to our standard, but perhaps we can just I would say just guide them, give them a suggestion on what they can do, and then
because all humans are capable of learning. All humans,
yes,
no matter what,
exactly,
are capable of learning.
Exactly.
If they want.
If they want, and if they have the passion.
Yeah, not if they just need money.
Yeah.
Because I believe the second aspect of changing the world then money should be eliminated from our life. Just an image of something viable, that we can measure something in money. This is like a myth. This is not true.
Yeah.
I believe in it. So yeah, so other aspect will be refusing the money, and then people should just gather using new types of employment or gathering, and start to invent things that could, for instance, produce in infinite groceries food. For instance,
Hey.
yeah. For instance, yeah. And then why do you need money? You have food, you have machines that produce clothes, computers, cars. You have everything. You don't need money.
Residents.
Just start to join the power of creating the new type of life, of space explorations and genetic investigations, anything. Just stop thinking about money, start thinking about just realizing you as a human. Okay?
Yeah.
As I said, we want to be, I would say, more. We want to do something where creativity is allowed, and of course, where the creativity can reap plenty of potentials. And we believe that creativity is what makes us grow and prosper.
Yeah. How did you go to such understanding of the world? I mean, did you attend any school classes, anything, just yourself?
You don't have to go to school to find out about it. You have to go out and see what happened, like even on the streets. And if you go to any kind of streets, or if you drive around the exits from the freeway, you'll find out why. And you should know this. When you see something, you should know what happened. It's present everywhere. So don't go to it doesn't have to be in school. It can be anywhere. Just observe, like everything, everybody, everywhere, and then analyze it, and you know why.
That's so incredible. That's so simple and powerful at the same time.
You have to think big. You have to look big. That's what, and you have to search big. That's to understand what's happening and how we can do this.
Wow, that's insane. So, do you speak about this with your parents?
Not yet, but I do want to speak with the right people, because I want to make sure that the people whom I speak with shares the same idea or the thinking as I do. That way I can have easier time talking with them. The most important thing is the reality, which is what we have in common. And if we have something in common, we open up communication, and then we start increasing the degree of affinity, which is the degree of liking a person. And then once we have these three, reality, communication, and affinity, then we can start building up mutual understanding, and then eventually we get to mutual trust.
Yeah, and unifying, right?
Unifying all the human beings.
Yeah.
And then you can start building with such people new projects of your understanding of how our world should be improved or changed. And if you share the same understanding with someone, you can join and create kind of startup, but actually a new type of project when you are not working for money, but you work for achieving some idea. Yeah, and you just share your own resources, like your time and your money, your place, your everything. You don't need office and all this stuff, director, lead, or anyone. So you just need to think in the same way with someone and to have any idea that you can start implementing just from scratch. Yeah?
I think the first thing that we can start with is the first thing that we can start with, just for the first step, is relating to the survival. Of course, the first thing we have to do is of course, is the food. And I personally think that it's possible to grow food using by incorporating what our ancestors did millions of years ago, and at the same time we actually incorporate with the new kind of technology in order to harness the potential of the food production. That's the first thing that I can do. So food is one thing. That's one essential. Second thing is that I personally think it's important to have housing, because housing is considered as the entity, the right of everybody. Everybody deserves to have a place to live in a safe place where they can actually rest when they need it. So, as I said, we're gonna need to.
What will you improve in current type of housing?
I would say there's that we're gonna need to have what we call some kind of the communal housing, where it will be housed by many people at the same time, because it's a communal area where people live close by. Those people who live there, they can start knowing each other like close neighbors, except they have really close relationship, and so they can actually start working together. So we think of a place where it's like a community, kind of like a village, except it's there's gonna be there'll be a close collaboration among human beings in there, and so
I was asking about, do you know or do you understand or imagine the new way of building such houses? Maybe 3D printers, maybe anything like that.
So we're thinking, I'm thinking of a place where it's gonna be really close to the nature, and yet it should be secure enough for the people in there to work together.
I like the concept, but you don't know the way how to build actually, yeah?
Well, we're thinking about the material. Let's see, the way that it builds.
The improvement, groundbreaking improvement in such a way. Because otherwise, what is the difference between classical types of human settling, like districts and houses and cities, So what revolutionary new you are proposing to do?
I'm actually thinking it real hard right now. I mean, I like the challenge, so I know I have to think a lot. And of course I just got interrupted, so I did think when I was meditating, but I just got interrupted, so I have to think again.
Oh, sorry, it was interruption. Me interrupting you, yeah?
Yeah, so because that's why I have to it just got stopped, and now it's I have to think again.
Oh.
But I did think a lot, but it just got stopped in a minute, the moment that you stopped me. So
you were thinking about this, yeah?
Yes, really big, and I've never stopped thinking until you stopped me.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, but I mean, it's a good start. I mean, I've encountered obstacles, so I'm not worried about the obstacles. but what I do worry is that it's about thinking of a way to improve the livelihood, which is of course what I'm doing right now. Let me see here.
You want to quit your job or find a new job?
Well, of course, I mean we have to help them find the new job. Of course. Oh,
No, I'm talking about you.
me?
You said that you want to find a new job,
Yes.
but this idea is not in lines to this concept. I mean, or if you follow the same concept as me, I mean, so you should not be an employee, but a partner in creating something big. Yeah. So are you going to try to find such kind of job, or just any job?
Well, I'm just doing like two things at the same time because first of all, I mean I do need the job to I would say to make a living, and second of all, I want to use the extra money that I have from the job, just in case if I get a job, to invest in helping the community in general. So
Wow, you know what to invest in?
what?
You know something that is worth investing? Investing your money?
Well, I have thought of if I have the extra money, I'm thinking about using my money to grow money, and then which is of course making a proper investment in the financial products, and then I want the money to grow the money, and then I want to use that, and then that will actually create the what I call the end what I call what I call the new kind of income by the investment, and so
It's like financial independence.
well, yes, we need to as I said, I want to actually use the money to actually grow the money by investing, and then once I have that income, then I can use part of the income to actually help the project. And then yes, and then of course that kind of money, as I said, will be used to actually build the projects, and also to, as I said, just to as some kind of the living wages for those who actually work under us. So, and of course, let me see here, and then let me see what else here. So
You're trying to see the part of something big right now?
yes, and then
And all this big is actually you.
it's not just me. It's actually we just want to start small, like what we call a trial experiment, and then once that project is actually working, then I can see there's growth. Then we can hire more people to do some kind of the job to actually finish as I said, to improve the project. And then once it gets big and really big, in terms of the manpower, we're thinking about expansion. Expansion, in terms of projects in other places, which we're gonna do it gradually, and then the process will be just repeated. And then of course it gets repeated until there's the point where there would be zero unemployment, Yeah, imagine a place with zero unemployment. That's a great stuff. And then, of course, there's a lot of things that I still have to think. Let me see what else here.
You're telling about your own startup idea, yeah?
Well, I did mention to a few people about my dream, and
You have a dream. Is it a secret?
it's not a secret. It's just a general idea of what my dream is right now.
If you can share it, it would be awesome.
Oh, basically, I want to be the I would say, let's think of a good title. I want
CEO?
to be like a great business owner of a conglomerate. Well, actually, in other words, like a group of many different companies, specializing in civil engineering, finance, education, retail, and also tourism, specializing in nudism and naturism. These are actually the growing businesses, and yes, that's actually my dream.
Okay.
And I want to hire the people based on their passion.
Okay.
Not on the skills. Skills, we can teach them. We can train them. That's easy. But what I want to see is passion. If they have the passion to do it, they have the drive to help us reach our goal. And
So this is your dream, yeah?
this is my dream.
Like
Yes.
high level concept. But do you dream about anything specific in every sphere that you mentioned? But what was going on in every particular sphere?
Okay, civil engineering. I personally think that yes, it does need like a proper housing for the disadvantaged. But we also think about the transportation area, because I have gone through. Every time I drive, occasionally I have encountered traffic jam, because people drive.
Okay.
Very few people take the public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look at other places like Hong Kong and Tokyo, but actually Hong Kong is where I was born, most people don't drive. They take public transportation. So, and I'm also thinking about the growth of the senior people, because especially the baby boomers, because I was thinking that as people get older, their health most of the time, in many cases, their health declines, and that includes mobility. And unfortunately, when their mobility declines, it will be difficult for them to drive. So they need help.
Okay.
They need help with if they need to go somewhere. So we should think about I would say improving the public transportation by not just the improvement of the existing public transportation as a whole, but we also think about building, I would say building sub-networks of the so-called what I call community transportation, where they can be allowed to they can actually move around within the community, within that one small area, but you can also allow to go to actually transfer to, I would say, the existing larger public transportation network.
Okay.
So we want to create, and when I look at Japan, I was actually shocked to see many kinds of public transportations readily available just at or near the doorstep. I'm talking about like trains, subways. Well, actually, buses. Well, actually, the railroad system too, in general. And same thing for Hong Kong. They have a very comprehensive network of public transportation where, you can. There's not just a comprehensive rail system, but also the bus system and the mini bus system. And so we can actually use these ideas, implement these principles into, not just within the San Francisco Bay Area, but also in other places as well, especially Los Angeles and, many other places, to name just a few. So there should be like I would say we should actually, as I said, improve the existing public transportation network, and also build the mini network of transportation for the community. Like it's like a world wide web. It's like there's a spider web that's like it's all connected.
Okay.
And then we also have thought about, as I said, I think it does need a national rail network where it can be fast. I mean, when I look at the one in Japan, it's already there. And I don't want to be angry with you, but I personally think, I think, as I said, there should be a national rail network where, which will allow people to have more choices, one extra choices in terms of the long distance travel. That's something that I also want to do as well. That's civil engineering, by the way.
Oh, by the way, maybe people will just fly in the future and they will not need any type of network transportation.
Well, we might think about the envisioning. We do actually consider. I would say having an international rail network where you can even travel from one continent to another. And I did see just a few things where they have dreamed of, but they haven't been realized yet. I mean, but they're actually built. But I have seen the channel or the channel tunnel where you could actually like take a train from England to France and vice versa.
It's called La Manche?
No, the Channel Tunnel. There's a tunnel where the trains can actually go from England to France.
Yeah.
And vice versa. That's a start. But this is actually considered as an inspiration to others who wish to build I would say a wide network of the so-called transportation link, where I would say, as I said, there will be another options besides. It will actually give the people another options besides flying. So, of course, I personally think the rail network would be the best choice.
Even comparing to flying.
Even compared to flying, yes.
Wow.
It will be like, and then there will be like, as I said, a vast network of the rail system. I would say all over the world, even in Africa, because I know Africa is I would say it's not backward. It's actually quite underdeveloped.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, if we can build a huge network, even within Africa, oh my God, that will actually bring growth to their countries, the countries that are affected by the project. I think it'll be really beneficial. And same thing for other, same thing for our country and also other developed countries as well. So I think it will bring a lot of potentials, and also it will actually it will actually create a backup just in case if the flight system goes amok, the rail system will be like pretty much the backbone of the whole world, so to speak.
Wow. So cool. Okay, that's about social engineering. What next?
Okay.
What?
The camera's still on.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm filming an interview.
Okay.
All right.
Let me know when you finish, because I can't come out without the camera off.
Okay. All right. So that's one civil engineering stuff. Let's see here.
No. What next sphere?
For the transportation network,
No. Well, for your company, conglomerate company.
conglomerate, the other part. Okay. Finance. Okay. So I personally think that. Wait, I think you mentioned earlier that there's a dream that is that there wouldn't be money. Is that true?
Of course.
Wow.
I believe my mission in that. In making the world refusing money.
Making the world refusing money.
Eliminating
Wow.
the idea of needing money.
Wow. Let's see here. Okay, I do know that I have thought about giving the financial security. I mean that's like before I came in, but without the money. Wow.
Were you thinking that word without loans for start?
Well, let me see here. Well, my understanding is that there are people who are in debt. And then I know that currently people will have to still live with the money because I know that because my understanding is that in the current situation we do have to pay the taxes, which I do because I work in a job, and I'm sure it's no different for other people with a job as well. Without money
And without taxes and without loans.
the taxes, the loans.
All that.
Well,
As I said, just because you have all the sources of the things that you need, of the necessities, like food machines, clothes, computers, cars, all that stuff will be produced in the machines. And you just go and grab as many as you need.
well, yes. We also have to think about how we can actually how we can actually create we can actually create what we call a production where first of all, yes, I think we're thinking about as I said, growing the money from the existing money that we have, and also from the fundraising, and then we need to find a proper investment where we can grow. So that's the money wise. Of course we can actually grow the money so that there will be an income to actually help us actually overcome the so-called financial challenges. Now for so-called the non-monetary methods, as I said, we should think about being self-sufficient. And yes, food, I mentioned earlier, we're thinking about growing our food, producing our food to survive, and also to, and of course, we have to save the seeds to grow more food.
Yeah.
And then
But maybe food can be just generated.
and then also, of course, soil. Yeah, we gotta have the soil, but we also have something where we can actually nourish the soil. Guess what is it?
Poo
And the urine.
and urine.
Because if every time we eat the food, we digest the food, and then at the end, we produce the waste. And the waste from our urine, the feces, these are fertilizers. Mm-hmm. We can use it to actually like nourish the soil to grow food. Mm-hmm. That's what my ancestors have done, mm-hmm. and I'm sure most of our ancestors have done this, mm-hmm. like even before the civilization. Of course, yes, because and of course when I went to China like about 9 years ago, I saw a lot of problem because there were like the water, the creeks over there. They were like, I could see the algae because there's too many artificial fertilizer, and of course there was also because of the modern plumbing system, which would actually allow them to install the toilets, and unfortunately that toilet actually took our waste away.
Right.
And I was thinking, hey, why don't we just grow our food for, I mean, that's the non-monetary system. That's the one to grow food. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Using ourselves and, of course, our existing seeds. And
I think that's how they conditioned us to have to use money, is because they tricked us into believing that all that's necessary is not here, and it is already provided in the earth and with us in our bodies.
The food.
Everything.
That's one thing that we can think of.
That's why I think it's good that he wants to eliminate money, because it is a source of confusion.
Yes.
It is a source of disruption in the natural order of things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think what you guys are talking about is brilliant, and if more people were on this, and honestly, there is a movement happening, just as couch surfing happens, as Help X happens, and other sites that we talked about. Those people are creating that because they no longer want to use money. They want to go back to the bartering system where I do for you and you do for me.
We actually have the obligation to help each other out, and then we can actually create, well, as I said, mutual understanding and eventually trust.
Exactly. And trust should be given automatically and only taken away if it's betrayed. Exactly. And so, but we can form communities. It starts small. Everything starts as just an idea. Everything starts as something small, and that can expand. And through conversation, really, that is not only a healing process, but also a way to innovate and create wonderful things that we have today. It's just conversation. So this type of communication, if we expanded this to bigger groups and more like-minded people, something can be done.
Yeah.
Really. And Patch Adams, they have a movie.
Patch Adams?
There's a movie called Patch Adams where Robin Williams plays this doctor. This guy is a real life guy. Patch Adams is a real life person. And what he does is he's doing everything without money. He has started a community-based thing where he has millionaires and billionaires investing in him. Giving him money because they believe in what he's doing and they support him.
That's the part of my idea.
Hey.
To give money.
And what he's doing is he had his own house. He had like 20 people living at his house, and so and I don't know his whole entire movement, but he went and spoke at schools and in different events, and they really believed in him, and people wanted to invest in him. And they were like, okay, we love what you're doing. We'd like to give you some land. So now he has 20 acres of land where more people are living there along with him, and they have a whole community, and they're living like kind of off the grid. They have their own community, their own lifestyle and way of living, and it's completely sustainable living. And so, and I know a guy who can create sustainable food source no matter where you live. He breaks up the concrete, he gets the soil under, he fertilizes it naturally and well.
Starting from us.
And he'll make your home a food source for you and have everything that you need be growing out of your home, and you no longer have to use the supermarkets. So of course he wants money because that's the survival mechanism. But if he could get what he needed and still be able to give you that, that would be even a fair trade. You know what I mean? The barter system. And yeah, it's cool. So there's ways, because our necessities is shelter, food, water, clothing.
Water, clothing, and also yes.
And community, of course. So those are necessities. But once we get that down, then we can really create. So once we establish that a home to live in, and there's tiny houses too, where people are living off the grid, called tiny houses. And so they build these houses on wheels or not, and they're small, but they're totally self-sufficient. Even have toilets, running toilets, kind of like an RV. But it's actually a home. It's this new thing that's happening, and people are building this.
I'm thinking that the toilet system should be the fertilizer system.
Exactly.
Because I don't think it would be unwise for our precious waste from our body to be wasted.
Discarded, yeah, of course.
No, we cannot discard the waste. This is, as I said, these are good stuff. And also, energy system. We think it will be 100% renewable. It is possible. We think of three things, the three main things: solar, wind, and water. Those are the three things that can create energy without without oil, without natural gas, definitely no nuclear. No, I want to stay away from the nuclear. It's dangerous. I mean, remember the Chernobyl back in Ukraine back in 1986? Oh my God, it's terrible.
I know.
I think you might have lived through that.
Hey guys, do you want to watch a movie? I want to watch a movie.
We need to film for 8 more minutes.
8 more minutes?
It will be an hour interview.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
So the energy source, yes, it's going to be 100% renewable, where it will apply to not just the mobile home, but also the small communities, so that we can, as I said, we can use that kind of electricity to, cook the food, to light up ourselves during the dark, and also to heat, to create the heating system, or
solar power for homes, solar power for cars.
And then
we can make pretty much anything solar power.
But remember that each of the renewable system has strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
So we think it's better to have at least 3 kinds of renewable system at once,
right?
So that in case if one goes down, the other can actually sustain ourselves. Can actually produce more energy for ourselves, and it can be produced. And of course, we need to find ways to actually store the energy, just in case if the power goes out, which it can happen, and we know that, but we're prepared. We're gonna store the energy just in case, so there's a backup. And yes,
in 3 different energy sources.
And 3 different energy sources, and just in case of, and of course, let's say the scenario would be like, if everything goes well, they can provide the energy source 24/7, 365. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this.
Wow. It's so awesome.
Energy source. Okay, so we solved the energy source, energy problems. Let me see here. And I also solved the food problem, the shelter, and the transportation. Yeah, so, and then, oh yeah, what else? Oh yeah, there will be a time when in the community, people do get sick. So I think we should have some kind of a, well,
More
we should have a
medicine.
medicine where it can be produced naturally,
Yeah, holistic
holistic
practices.
approach,
Mhm.
and then, and of course, I mean, it's not just applied to the more general health problems. It can also be applied to specific problems like, well, circulatory, that includes the hearts, the brain, and also the reproductive. And remember that as humans, yes, we have to reproduce in order for the humanity to survive. So yeah, there should be it should also cover the reproductive system, especially well, as I said, the female part, where I personally think that in terms of the what's that called, the obstetric gynecology, I personally think that, well, as I said, the childbirth can be done at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean that. So I think it should. That's one way.
They have those. They have they call them something mothers, and they help you to have a home delivery, home childbirth. Yeah.
That, I think that should actually cut the unnecessary expenses in terms of the I would say reproductive health, because I personally think that, well, having that kind of so-called treatment in hospital, well, it's unnecessary unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
But I think for the more general, I would say remedy and the process, I think it can be done naturally. So, and of course, it's same thing applies for the general practice and other specific practice. So I think we should have as I said, yes, the holistic medicine, as well as the natural medicine, also as I said, it includes the acupuncture and other things, to name just a few. But
reflexology, iridology, acupuncture. Iridology, they can look through your eyes and tell you what's wrong with you. Details too.
The eyes?
Yeah, through the eyeball. Because the eye, just like with reflexology through the feet, they can pinpoint this part of your foot means this part of your foot represents this. So iridology is through the eye, and this part of your eye represents your lungs, and this part of your eye represents your kidney. And,
just like the foot, the map of the foot, where they tell which organs or which body.
Exactly, but through the eyes, that's how.
Hey.
Yeah.
I think we need to incorporate that as well. That
iridology.
That cuts the medical expenses, like, to be exact.
Because they'll tell you what's wrong with you
immediately
through a picture. They take a zoomed-in photo of your eye, a super zoomed photo of your eye.
Yeah. Okay, so that solves the medicine problem, because as we may get sick, or we may get old, or something changes, especially as I said, pregnancy. So which it does happen, but we need it. So
absolutely.
So that solves the medical problem.
And I think if you have the essentials down packed, the home, the
food,
the
energy.
What else do you need at all?
The
clothes,
the medicine,
that holistic medicine. Once you have those essentials, then the rest of your time will be freed up, and then you can really create some amazing things that aren't exactly necessities but privileges.
Yeah.
Because your time will be free.
This is it. Finally understand what I was talking about. This is it.
The so-called self-sufficiency. What I call mechanism. the system.
Yeah, this is the ideal. We can create an ideology from that, like communism. How we call this ideology?
We call it the communalism.
Communal.
Communal. Let's not say communism because communism gets a bad rap lately.
Yeah, but they
Communal.
remixed it. It's not even
Communal.
true. The true definition of communism is really just sharing.
But I
That is
think-
the true definition.
But I think we need to have a different word like
Yeah.
communal.
Communal is like
Ism.
it's like without ism. That's very important.
Community. There's some kind of community. Yeah.
Communal.
Communal system.
Communal living or structure.
Communal system. We call it the
Yeah.
system. Organized system.
Yeah, organized communal system.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, 1 hour exactly.
All right.
We can finish.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, thank you for this
Great.
interview, guys.